Counter manipulation, a no BS guide to protect yourself. Introduction. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like you agreed to something you didn't really want to do? Maybe you signed up for a subscription you didn't need, lent money you couldn't afford, or agreed to work overtime when you desperately needed rest. What happened? Manipulation. The truth is, manipulators are everywhere. Your boss, a friend, or even a salesperson pitching the last deal of the day. But today, I'm giving you the ultimate science-backed, no BS guide to spotting manipulation and shutting it down. And because this is such an important topic, I'll sprinkle in some real-life stories and examples to keep it fun and relatable. By the end, you'll have a rock-solid framework to protect yourself. Let's dive in. Part 1. What makes manipulation work? First, let's break down why manipulation works in the first place. Imagine this. You're at a car dealership. The salesman walks up with a big smile and says, "You look like someone who knows quality when they see it." They flatter you. Then they go, "If you act now, I can offer you this amazing deal, but only until the end of the day." Boom, emotions activated. Manipulation works because it taps into your emotions and cognitive biases. Fear of missing out, FOMO. You're afraid the deal will disappear, so you act impulsively. Flattery and trust. The salesman makes you feel good about yourself, so you lower your guard. Pressure tactics. They create urgency so you don't have time to think. The science. Studies in behavioral psychology show that when we're emotionally charged, our logical reasoning takes a back seat. Manipulators know this and exploit it. But here's the good news. Once you're aware of these tactics, you can dismantle them like a pro. Part 2. The 5-step framework to counter manipulation. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. She's smart, ambitious, and kind, but she's also a people pleaser. A colleague once asked her to help out with a big project, framing it as, "You're the only one I trust with this. It'll mean the world to me." Sarah worked late nights, sacrificed her weekends, and got zero credit for the project. She was furious, but she'd already fallen into the trap. Here's how Sarah could have avoided it. Step 1. Pause and analyze. When someone makes a request, don't respond immediately. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what's their intention? Are they appealing to my emotions or reason? Manipulators rely on snap decisions. Breaking that momentum gives you control. Step 2. Ask questions. Manipulators hate being questioned. It forces them to reveal their true intentions. Example, if Sarah had asked, "What specifically do you need from me, and how will my contribution be acknowledged?" she would have exposed her colleague's vague request. Questions create clarity, and clarity dismantles manipulation. Step 3. Set boundaries. Here's a story about me. I once had a neighbor who constantly borrowed my tools. One day, he knocked and said, "Hey, can I borrow your drill? You're the most generous guy I know." Flattered, I said yes again, but it clicked. I wasn't being generous. I was being taken advantage of. Here's how I stopped it. I told him, "I'm glad to help, but I need my tools back by the end of the day." Setting a boundary forced him to respect my time and property. Pro tip, use I statements to set limits without being confrontational. Example, "I can't commit to that right now, but let's revisit it later." Step 4, leverage the power of silence. Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable silence can be? Manipulators hate it because it forces them to over-explain or expose their intentions. Let's say a friend says, "If you really cared about me, you'd help me move this weekend." Instead of jumping to respond, just pause. Stay calm. The silence will do the work for you. They might backtrack or clarify, giving you the upper hand. Step 5, focus on logic over emotion. Remember the car dealership scenario? Manipulators want you emotional. Flip the script by bringing logic into the conversation. Example, "What's the exact breakdown of costs here? I need time to evaluate." This disrupts their emotional tactics and shifts the power dynamic. Part 3, recognizing common manipulation tactics. Here's a cheat sheet of manipulation tactics and how to counter them. Guilt tripping. "If you really loved me, you'd do this." Counter, "I love you, but I have to prioritize my responsibilities." Flattery. "You're so good at this. I couldn't ask anyone else." Counter, "Thanks, but I have my own tasks to handle right now." Fear and urgency. "This is your last chance." Counter, "I don't make big decisions under pressure. Let me think it over." Playing the victim. "Everyone's against me, and I thought you'd understand." Counter, "I empathize, but I can't take this on right now." Part 4. Building long-term resistance to truly bulletproof yourself. You need to build habits that make manipulation almost impossible. Practice emotional regulation. Journaling, mindfulness, or therapy can help you stay calm when someone tries to provoke you. Critical thinking exercises. Read books, solve puzzles, or debate topics to strengthen your reasoning skills. Surround yourself with strong people. When you have a solid support system, you're less vulnerable to external pressure. Conclusion: manipulation is everywhere, but it only works if you let it. By pausing, analyzing, and responding strategically, you can take back control of your decisions. Here's my challenge to you. This week, identify one situation where someone might try to manipulate you. Use these techniques to counter it. If this video resonated with you, hit like, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more no-nonsense, science-backed advice. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.